You're on.
Are we live?
Yep.
All right, thanks. Okay, we're calling the Health Committee meeting to order. Special meeting for December 7th, 2020. On the agenda, we only have two items tonight. Under current business, number one, authorizing an agreement with the Psychiatric Group of Albany regarding psychiatric services. I think we have Dr. Giordano on the line.
Yes, sir.
Hey, doctor.
You ready for me?
Yep, go ahead.
Thank you very much. Good evening, everyone. The Department of Mental Health is seeking your approval to enter into a renewal contract with the Psychiatric Group of Albany for the 2021 year. This is a group of 10 medical professionals. They provide us over 200 hours a week of psychiatric services. They are psychiatrists and nurse practitioners. They serve our 700 patients at our clinic, 150 patients at our jail, and 50 patients in the community through one of our case management programs. They have been a long-time provider, and we are seeking an extension for 1 year of their contract.
Thanks, Dr. Giordano. Any questions from the committee?
Chairman Joyce, I just have a comment, just a very brief comment.
Go ahead, Ally.
Thank you very much, Chairman Joyce. Commissioner Giordano, I'm going to tell you something very briefly. I want you to know that a constituent called me up about a individual in the district that is having significant mental health issues. Your staff was incredible on the phone and enormously helpful. That is all I want to say. Thank you.
Well, I thank you so much. I didn't know where you were going to go with that, but I'm glad it ended up well.
I never go negative. I always go positive.
Thank you so much. I have a great team.
Yes, I agree. I won't keep you long, but I was just curious. I know we've discussed the needs, especially for your department this past year, have gone up tremendously. I know this group also serves the correctional facility, correct?
Well, we have a unit up there, and that's part of this contract. So it's really a mental health service at the jail.
Yeah. Have you seen equal metric and needs arising at the correctional facility as we've seen across the county? Or
one of the reasons why we're doing a 1 year extension, these have been 3 years in the past. There's so much change in our midst. With bail reform, the need went down dramatically. Now, as a result of all of the suffering around COVID, the need is going back up. It's very hard to predict for more than a year at a time. The needs are going back up at the jail. Yes, definitely.
Okay. So any other questions from the committee?
Yes, I did, Ray.
Go ahead, Mr. Miller.
Dr. Giordano, just to help me understand, as I'm still figuring out how our county works here in the first year, can you just help me understand why this is something that we outsource and that we don't do in-house?
Well, there's a long-standing history to this, and I wasn't there at the beginning, but I can recount some of it. I think that I'm a psychologist, not a psychiatrist. The medical doctors, I think 10, 15, 20 years ago felt that the wages that were being paid to them as county employees was not competitive. And the county made a decision back in 1993, I believe, to contract with them as independent contractors. And it's been that way ever since.
Okay.
I think it was hard to keep them on salary.
Okay, that's fine enough. I figured there was a reason. I was just curious. I was trying to understand why it wouldn't be. So
Yes, sir.
that's great. Thank you.
Yep.
Thanks, Mr. Miller. Any other questions from the committee? Any questions from members? Hearing none, could I get a motion to move?
I'll make that motion, Mr. Chair.
Second.
Motion by Mr. Ward, second by Mr. Miller. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Unanimous. Thank you again, Dr. Giordano.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and to all of you, have a great holiday. Thank you.
Same.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, next on the agenda is number 2, amending the 2020 Department of Health budget administrative adjustments. Tonight, we are very lucky to have Ms. Shauna Witherspoon with us tonight. Whatever we're paying you isn't enough, so how are you? How are you holding up?
Mr. Chairman, I'm well. I am representing the Health Department tonight, and we are requesting that we adjust a prior resolution that was an error, and the funding for our overtime went into on-call pay instead of the overtime line. So we are requesting to change that. And in addition to that, asking to then move $70,000 from fees for service into overtime. So that line is no longer negative. And the total $180,000 is 100% grant funded through our state grant funds.
And that was a part of the, I think the September resolution of about $830,000. We were going,
Yes.
yeah, and so we're not, it's not an additional 180, we're just moving 110 from on-call back into overtime and moving 70 from fees from services, I believe, to help fund that overtime line as well.
Correct.
The only question I had was a part of that 830, we were going to create 4 positions. Do we have those 4 positions on? Do we fill those 4 positions? I think it was 3 case managers and 1 like community education liaison.
We have filled 2 so far.
Okay, so that pretty much justifies the need for the additional overtime because your department, your whole staff is doing double duty right now trying to manage this pandemic.
Yes, we are. Yeah, so we're
Yeah.
hoping that it will lessen the amount of overtime into the new year.
Sure, sure. Okay, any questions from the committee?
No, just a comment. They're doing a fantastic job.
I echo that too, Chairman.
Copy that, Ms. Willingham. No questions. Can we get a motion to move?
I got a
I'll
motion.
move it.
Motion by Ms. Willingham, a second by,
Second.
I think, McLean Lane. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, thank you, Ms. Witherspoon, and thank you, committee. Can I get a motion to adjourn?
Thank
Motion.
you.
Second.
Thank you.
Thank you for all that you do for us. We are greatly appreciated.
Same. Thank you. Have a great holiday.
You too.
You too.